Hey guys, so welcome to the Q Effect, where we are talking about all things great, but we're highlighting Mr. Beau Smart here, but also we're in downtown Los Angeles. As you guys know, I travel in between the two, so you will be seeing podcasts here and in Atlanta. So Beau Smart, who is he? He's a versatile actor and also a creative director. He does a lot of different things, but he also is my buddy as well. He had a leading role in the breakout films like No Way Out and Street, and worked on projects like CBS, The Neighborhood, Showtime's Shameless, The Perfect Match, NBC's Shade of Blue, the ABC remake of Dirty Dancing, just to name a few. On the unscripted side, Beau spent 5 seasons as a judge on Univision's hit competition.
Mira Quien Baila.
Who?
I know you can struggle with that one.
Yeah, say that?
Mira Quien Baila. It's
Okay.
Dance with the Stars.
What's it called? Oh, Dancing with the Stars. I could do
Spanish
some of
version.
that. And served as one of the 3 judges on True TV's visually driven reality show, Fake Off. What is that?
It's another judging talent show.
Okay, you always judging folks, man. Beau began his career in dance at 18, and then by age 22, he was choreographing for icons like Beyoncé and Eminem. I know y'all love some Beyoncé. She just killed it, by the way. Since then, he's most recently served as creative director and show designer for Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2-hour tour, which is the 4th highest grossing hip hop and rap tour in history. His other collaborations are Ariana Grande, Lil Wayne, Lil Baby, 50 Cent, Jennifer Lopez, Prince Royce, and many more. So the dude's resume is sick. On top of everything, he has gained over 3 million followers on social media across his platforms. You've done a lot. How old are you?
38.
But, you know, we're just going to say he's 22.
I'm 22.
Y'all don't need to know all that. So, Mr. Beau, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here. It means a lot because at the end of the day, one reason why I'm doing this too is there may be someone that's out there that wants to be you, but they have no idea where to start. So part of my podcast role is for people out there who don't know their way to be motivated by someone like you, because you are of Latino descent, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've had struggles with being where you are today. So that'll speak volumes to a lot of people who just wants to be someone similar to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, so what made you step into the world of dance to begin with?
Krump dancing. Krump, Krump. David LaChapelle did a movie called Rise on it, and it kind of took the world by storm. And I think 2005 it came out, 2004, 2005, 5 or 6. I saw the movement, I saw the dancing in person, I fell in love with it, and it consumed my life. It took me off track of what I was going to do and was doing. I was going to be a firefighter, and it made me start dancing in the street, and very much street dancing, like the movies do the whole, it's hood and it's street and it's fighting and it's gangs. It was very much that, but like the reality of it. And I became very good and a little bit famous across the world in that niche of krump dancing. And it just opened up doors and opportunities for me and got me signed as a dancer to a big agency. And then I started learning more types of dance and choreography and started booking jobs very quickly. Within my first week of being signed, I booked a Sean Paul, Keisha Cole music video. And then from there, it was like video, show, TV show, commercial, movie, just it never stopped. And then by 22, I was choreographing and just kept going from there.
And was it self-taught, the krump style?
The krump was self-taught because it was a very African-American thing to do. And it was pulled from the hood. It was created in like South Central and Compton, Inglewood. And it just was not anything else. Like if you weren't African American, you were struggling just to be accepted.
Correct.
And that's where the name Casper came from, because they made fun of me. It was a joke, and it stuck, and I couldn't get rid of it, and I hated it. And then I got good. Something clicked, and I became very, very good, and it became like, oh shit, here comes Casper.
Oh yeah.
It became a little bit more of like fear, respect, if anything, you know?
And you know, and that's common in the African American community, especially when you're in an area where there's predominantly black. Yeah. So at first, you know, anybody of a different race is a little bit, you know, inferior. until like you prove yourself to be one of them, and then at that point you would probably get a nickname.
Yeah. Well, I was not good, so it was like really teasing me.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, something clicked.
So what clicked for you to get it?
I don't know. I mean, I trained like a madman. I literally would dance in my room, in my bedroom, and I had like these cheap little $5 Walmart mirrors that I would like. They were like the skinny little ones, and I'd line them all up so I can get like a square and see myself. And I would train like 7 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, and until something clicked, and then I battled, and that's when it clicked, and that's when everyone was like, oh shit. And since then, I became great at that.
That is really cool. And so with your niche of dancing, did any of the people that you choreographed with before, have they ever done it before? Have they ever seen it before? And because it was niche, that's how you got?
So as a dancer, that was krumping. When I got signed as a dancer into the industry, I became a bit more versatile with dancing. So I had to learn how to do choreography, which wasn't my steps, you know, and it wasn't krump dancing. It was choreography, and I learned how to do a lot of other type of freestyles. But when I started choreographing, I was never choreographing krump dancing. I had already kind of been leaving that world behind, that kind of street world, because I was in the industry. And I brought that into the industry as much as I could as a dancer when I was performing and freestyling. But once I became a choreographer, I was choreographing steps for artists. So I wouldn't choreograph krumping for artists, you know? And I started working with a lot of women more early on, but yeah.
Okay. So with that, what was the most physical, emotional demanding dance or choreography that you had to do? And who was it with? That
I had to choreograph, or I had to do myself?
Well, one you had to do yourself, and then one you had to choreograph.
Myself, I think just learning steps was very tough for me, because I came from just freestyling and like a very aggressive type of dance, krumping. Choreographing, when I first started, it was making things flow was, like, I feel like the most difficult, because it was a world I wasn't familiar with, and I got opportunity, and so just making things flow together seamlessly and effortlessly was always, in the beginning, was a struggle, and then, you know, as time went on, it became much easier flow.
So with it becoming more easier, how did you learn a new creative design in your head? Like, how did you, like, what was your steps? Say it was a new genre of music that you had to do. Like, what was your steps in order to make it a good turnout?
Well, that's like a whole nother career. So like dancing is a career.
Yeah.
Then choreography is a whole separate career. And then creative directing, which is what I do now, is a whole separate career from those. Like, as a creative director, I don't touch the dance. Like, I hire a choreographer. I hire a supervising choreographer who hires choreographers, who hires dancers. So I don't really, like, I'll check in and out on the studio when they rehearse, and I'll go look it, and they'll say, hey, do you want to come see what we have? And I'll come look at it and give notes, but I don't touch the dance anymore. Like, I design the set design, the video content, the lights, the lasers, the pyro, the cryo, the effects, the hair, makeup, wardrobe, the budget, the trucks, the buses, the drivers, the production, stage managers, everything top to bottom.
How taxing is that?
That's taxing.
Do you get any sleep when you're doing that?
No, those jobs are tough. Like on a tour or like a big award show, like I did the Vanguard Awards with Nicki. That one was it's stressful, because it's so much weight that your artist is carrying, and you're carrying, and you're trying to carry your weight, but you're also trying to take any weight you can off your artist at the same time, because you know they have so much on their shoulders, you know? And you're also trying to put together a great show. Okay.
And any of the people that you choreographed before or did this whole directing, are you like, did you ever have to butt heads, or was it hard for them to see your vision?
Sure. Yeah. You definitely like have difference of opinions with artists because everyone has their own creative, everyone has their own vision, and everyone's an artist. I'm an artist. they're an artist. And so, of course, we have difference of opinion sometimes. And at the end of the day, as I get older, it was tougher when I was younger. There was a lot more ego involved because I'd be like, all right, then you make up something. If you think you got a better idea, like type attitude.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, it's not my show. It's not my money. I'm not in front of the microphone. It's their show. It's their name. It's, you know what I mean? So if they don't like something and they say, I don't like that, then it's my job to say, okay, I'll bring something back to you. I'll bring some other options. Mm-hmm. It's not my job to go, well, then you make up something, you know, and have an ego about it. It's a collaborative thing that we work together on, and if they're not happy with something, it's my job not to butt heads. It's my job to bring new options, new ideas, you know?
I remember when I went to the Missy Elliott when they was getting ready for like the big show with Sierra and Busta Rhymes, and I got to see behind the scenes what practice looks like with the dancers and stuff, mm-hmm. and it's insane. First of all, the nutrition is horrible. I'm like, if people are dancing for hours, the nutrition needs to support that.
I don't let when I have my production put catering out for cast and crew and dancers and everyone, I don't let them put out a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
like it's fruits, it's like healthy.
Nutri-Grain bars and sugar and what?
I know.
Can your boy get some nutrition?
But you also got to realize, like, the masses of the world, like, Nutri-Grain bars sounds like nutrition.
It does.
Nutrition, you know what I mean?
It does.
It sounds like it's healthy and it tastes good, but it's full of sugar and preservatives, and we know it's not.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as candy.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm like, you might as well get them a Jolly Rancher or a Snickers or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe at some point they may hire a nutritionist or something, but
it's rare. It's rare. It's got to usually come from like a higher up or the choreographer or the director or artist that sees the table and goes, come on, we can't have all this bad food. We can't have chips and candy and things. Like, we need some healthy stuff in here.
Correct.
You know? But at the same time, they are burning an obscene amount of calories a day, and they do need sugar, and they do need, you know, big carbs, and they want snackies and stuff. So it's like finding the happy medium of like stuff that they actually want in there. Because it's their choice, and giving them healthy stuff too. So it's, you know, giving a bit of both.
And as far as being a dancer, like, are there any? If someone wants to be a dancer, what does that look like in order for them to become professional?
I think just like any profession, there's always challenges with, you know, there's a lot of other people that want to do what you're doing, whether that's being a practitioner or a dancer or a director or an actor or a singer, a model, or whatever you want to do. Obviously, the industry is really tough. It's a tough, scarce, rejecting, hard place to be in.
So is it similar to acting as far as getting rejected?
Yeah, the industry as a whole, whether you're acting, modeling, dancing, singing, writing, directing, like there's just, you know, all the in-betweens. The industry is just a very tough place to be in. Even tougher when you are one of the stars, right? Like one of those main people. It's just a tough industry. So I just feel like if you're the best in your town, in your city, where you come from, or you're one of the best, you're gonna come to LA and you're gonna be now one of the best from your area, but there's thousands of other people that were the best in their area. So now you're not in your area where you feel like, oh, I'm the shit here, I'm the best, no one can touch me, because now you're here with a bunch of other greats. But mind you, there's other greats that are smarter than you. They're smarter with things like this. They do podcasts, they do social media, they're smart with marketing, they just run differently. They know how to talk to people. They know how to get into rooms. They know how to rub shoulders. Like, it's a lot of factors at that point, you know? So it's not just, oh, I'm beyond talented and I'm gonna make it. It's so many more things than that.
I don't doubt it. So were you ever doing all three at once, where you were dancing, choreography, creative director?
Dancing and in choreography I was doing for about a year and a half, maybe 2. And then I said to myself, when I start making enough money choreographing, where I'm like really trumping what I make as a dancer, and I did really well as a dancer because I did a lot of commercials and TV shows and movie. So before SAG and AFTRA merged, it was just SAG and AFTRA separate. So I was doing a lot of SAG jobs that paid residuals very well. So like I did like 12 national commercials, which pay very well. So once I said I make more, significantly more than as a dancer choreographing, I would leave dancing. So by 24, I never did another dance job again. I quit, and I'm 38 now. So 14 years. By choreography, I started creative directing by around 25-ish, a little bit, 24, 25, and then started doing more and more, but moving very quickly with a lot of artists. So by 27, I was like, I don't really need to choreograph anymore. It's too taxing to be able to do both. It's 2 separate, very big jobs. As a choreographer, you need to be in the studio 8, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, you know? As a director, you got to be everywhere else, nonstop, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It never stops. So it's taxing to do both at the same time, and I did it. It was too hard. So you got to really separate them.
How did you take care of your body with all the dancing, and any pointers for dancers of today's, society of what they can do to make sure they're their best at all times?
Me personally, my dance career was very short. I only danced from 18 to 24, so 6 years. And then professionally, I got signed at 20, so only 4 years professionally, until I moved into choreography and left dancing completely. So I got very lucky, and I was blessed to not be able to kill my body. But crump dancing was very tough on my body. But I played a lot of sports, and I ride motorcycles, and like I do a lot of extreme activities. So all my big injuries were from outside of dancing. All my knee tears, all my broken bones, all my tears everywhere. But as a dancer, I feel like stretching, warming up properly, eating right, drinking enough water, sleeping enough, I feel like those, are enough. Working out outside of dancing, people think like dancing is such a good workout, and it is, but you're learning, you're learning steps, you're slow, you're not like going full out dancing nonstop, at high intensity all day. So I think working out in a gym properly, weights is huge. I think people that just do cardio is not enough. Calisthenics is different because that's weights, that's
Correct.
your body weight.
Yeah.
But I think, pushing and pulling weight, whether it's your own or metal, is essential because, packing muscle, whether it's muscle like you or thin muscle, packing muscle on your extremities and your ligaments and tendons and stuff protects yourself.
Correct. So I know you've been on sets, stages, and films. So how do your energy and focus change from each environment?
I think it just depends on the job. If I'm directing for an artist, if it's a music video, if it's a TV show like an award show, if it's a tour, or if I'm acting. If I'm on a TV show like a sitcom I just did with Cedric the Entertainer, I did The Neighborhood on CBS. It's very light and fun and easy schedule and funny and improv. And then, there's a film I did called No Way Out on Tubi TV where I played like a cartel drug dealer killer. It was very dark. The set was dark, the vibe was dark, my character was dark. So like my energy was always very low, quiet, didn't talk to many people. And I just stayed very like in a more calm, cool, darker energy, So
How did you
just
come
depends.
out of that?
It just come out.
Because
Right.
and I think about things like that, and then you think about people like Heath Ledger.
Yeah, but that's like, first of all, he's a method actor. I think there was definitely drugs in play and alcohol, which I don't partake really in either. You know, and then and you got to think of movies like that they're shooting for 10 months, 12 months. You know, on these $100 million movies. You know, I shot this film for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know if I had to play that kind of a character, and you know, and I was drinking and doing drugs and stayed in it for 10 months, 12 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also am not a method actor. But I'm not Heath Ledger either. You know, what I mean, he's a legend. You know, but it's tough. It's tough when you are a method actor to take on those kind of roles, which is like why the Jack Nicholson said don't do it. You know, he warned him, don't do it, because he knew that that's the type of actor he is and what it did to Jack, I'm sure, when he played the Joker. So it's just, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy how like it almost became real life for people, and they went into the darkest, deepest depression and couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
But also, too, my thing that I spoke to another actor about is like, I don't know if you know this, but do they give any like mental health support or anything when you playing roles like that?
No, I think I'm sure there's people around you, your camp or your director or your producers or anybody that cares about you is probably like, hey, are you good? And naturally, when have you ever been not good and you were like, no, I'm not good? You know what I mean? We always say, we're good, especially as men.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Nah, I'm good. You can be in the darkest place in your life and be like, I'm good, I'm straight, happy, I'm chilling.
And they say, you know, they're jumping off a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy all these years, and mental health is still not where it should be for people to be knowledge and open about it.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it makes you look weak for being depressed.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's shameful.
Yeah.
What it is, you know? And shame is like one of the biggest things that can bind you as a human, you know? And being vulnerable is also such a thing we look at as weakness, like you said. But it's not. I don't think vulnerability is weak. I think it's strong.
Yeah.
You know, some of the strongest kings and leaders in the world have been merciful and vulnerable in times, you know?
Correct.
But, you know, we are raised as people, and I think as men, to that vulnerability is weakness. So it's tough, you know?
Yeah, I know for me being a male healthcare provider, I've, been able to see a lot of males that are open about that kind of stuff. And a lot of times they don't want to do that with a female ever.
Yeah.
So my message to you guys, if you're struggling, find a male that you feel comfortable talking to, because a lot of times, they'll be more open. They don't want to seem weak to a female.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy, but it's actually a thing. Just like with me being a black provider, well, I've taken care of the most black patients as I've owned my practice than when I've worked for other people. So it's weird, but I didn't realize that that's how a lot of people think, whether male or African American. They want to go to someone that looks like them as well.
Of course. It's, I get it.
And so for you, like, what was your highest achievement both as a dancer, a choreographer, and then as a creative director?
Oh, I don't know. As a dancer, it's crazy. I never really talk about like my dance career because it was so long ago. I don't know.
There's got to be something where you're just like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
I did everything as a dancer, literally, like everything. I think just probably the highest achievement I could say is being successful as fast as I was and as consistent as I did for as long as I did, until I, parlayed out into a different career. But I did everything that you could do, thankfully, as a dancer, and that was great. But I mean, I think there was like, I got booked in my first movie. It was Dance Flick. It was with the Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
It was just him spoofing all the dance films. And I remember going into the audition, I knew the choreographer Dave Scott, who just passed away recently, who was a good friend of mine and gave me a lot of my first opportunities in the dance space across the board. I worked with him a lot. I remember just coming in like a complete asshole into the audition on purpose. Like, it was, I think it was like a basketball. It was like basketball, like driven. That was the scene. It was going to be like basketball choreography for it. I think that's what it was. That was like a Nike job. I don't remember. But I came in like an asshole to Dave's auditions. But I just came in loud. I came in the front. I dressed up on purpose like it was damn near Halloween, just to get attention from the Wayans brothers, who Damian Wayans was the director and sitting in front with Dave, which I got the attention. I ended up booking the job, and they just thought I was very funny.
Yeah.
And I remember how excited I was booking my first movie. I was like, Mom, I booked a movie. I was like 20 years old or something. And it was such a fun job. As a choreographer, I think probably I got nominated for a VMA for Best Choreography. That was probably like one of the big moments of my career. I didn't get it because Bruno Mars was also nominated for choreographing Treasure himself. And I remember writing him, and I was like, if you take this award from me, I'm going to fucking slap you. And he was like, it's the only one I want. He was like, I've gotten every other VMA there is. I want a choreography award. Of course he won.
Yeah.
But that was a big moment. And in directing, I'd probably say, I was going to say Vanguard Awards for Nicki Minaj, directing that, because it's a Michael Jackson award for the VMAs. It's like one of the biggest awards you can get as an artist. And it was a 10.5-minute performance. It was very big. And that was probably the biggest achievement, I think, that I was like, wow, this was the best thing I've ever directed. Until I did Pink Friday 2 tour for Nicki, which we just did this last year. And it was the fourth highest grossing rapper hip hop tour in history, man or woman.
Yeah.
Which speaks volumes, because you think about every rapper and hip hop R&B artist in life since the beginning. And Nicki as a woman is number 4. You know what I mean? And we would have had number 3, but we missed 2 shows because she got sick. Otherwise, she would have had 3.
She would have got that IV, would have been ready. Right. Nicki, I got you.
she's truly like a star. She's so incredible. And her talent is just not only so unmatched, but it's just, you watch her and it's just, she has this ism, this thing that you can't learn. You can't buy it. You can't be taught. You can't get it later in life. It's
Correct.
just, you're born with it. And
not.
when she walks on stage, you just can't look away. You know what I mean? It's just, she's that good. And that tour was absolutely incredible. And designing that and directing that tour was I'd say the highest achievement on the directing space that I've done.
That's awesome, because I know she had a lot of different music. So to be able to do all that, that's some serious creativity. Going through her music was so tough, because we wanted to keep it so on this new, like, have the new album and the new music and stuff, but like, she has 15 years of hits. And like, she doesn't have like, 1 or 2 singles on each album that are big songs. She has like 10 on each album. Correct.
So like, going through, and then she puts out singles that are smashes like all the time. So going through her stuff and being like, wait, we can't put Bees in the Trap? Wait, we can't put Did It on them? Wait, we're not gonna put this? We're not. It's going through her catalog is tough, because it's so much good music,
That's true. And when I went to see Missy Elliott's concert, man, and I knew all the songs.
Of course.
And you don't really realize it until you're there and they bringing up all the songs that they've, and then there was some you say, hold on, now where was this one at?
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. That's cool. And the same
and you
thing,
remember those moments that you're like, I remember I was in high school.
Yeah.
This used to be my song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even when I went to Coachella last year, and it was like she had the most people watching her. You know, she was like right before Lady Gaga. I mean, if you see the stands, man.
I went. I saw it. I was there.
It was.
And what's crazy is that I had like the VIP.
Yeah, same.
Or I had an artist pass, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get into the pit. It was so like off side of the stage that you couldn't see anything but an IMAG, which was like close up on her face. So I walked out to GA, like to the very back, probably like 1,000 yards back, just so I can see the middle of the stage, but it was so far.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to like see the whole stage and see her perform and listen, and Missy's
And it was crazy how
legend.
creative the stage was without being like in a stadium.
Yeah.
Because I went and saw her in the stadium in Atlanta first. But a lot of the stuff I don't know how they were able to make that creative with just a stage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it
because it's a
was
big
dope.
stage. Yeah, hi-hat is her creative.
You just have mad respect for the people that, because after learning that and seeing it in the backgrounds, you get mad respect to the people who do all that. Like, I can't even imagine. There's probably some days you pulling your hair out.
Hi-hat's been with her for like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Hi-hat's her creative director, her choreographer, head of all of it. She's the woman who hired me on my first commercial ever as a dancer for McDonald's at like 19 years old. She's an OG. She's a legend.
She's so nice.
She's great. Yeah.
So nice. So for anybody that wants to dance, you know, and wants to become professional, what type of advice would you give them?
Keep training, keep learning, keep getting better, because there's always someone better than you, always. And so if you think you're the best, you're not. You're not even close.
Yeah.
Because there's tens of thousands, if not dozens, but if not thousands, hundreds of people better than you in the LA space or in New York or wherever. So just keep training, keep getting better, keep learning more. I say the best dancer is the most well-rounded dancer. So if you can do hip hop and that's all you can do, that's all you can do. You're limited. But if you do hip hop and pop, and you can tumble, and you can freestyle, and do some breakdance, and you can pop, like pop, and you can vogue, and you can do ballet, and you can do jazz, and you have technique, and you can turn, then you're more well-rounded. You're probably gonna book more jobs, you know what I mean? Because you have more to offer. It's down to you and this guy can do a bunch of backflips and all these tricks and do the choreography, and you could do the choreography, but that's all, I'm gonna go with him because I can utilize all that other stuff he does too, you know? If I bring in a choreographer that's like, oh, I needed a triple turn, you know, to do 3 turns with spots and then go right into choreography. And you can't because you're not trained, but this guy's trained, I'm gonna go with him, you know? So being more well-rounded is gonna get you more opportunity, you know? Same with your field. I mean, you know, I was like, what do you were like, oh yeah, I do hair, I'm like, what the fuck? You do all this shit. You're like, yeah, I do it all. Which gives you more opportunity to make more money.
Correct.
Right? And that's what we do at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. So what we do is very similar.
Yeah.
You gotta stay relevant. Because I mean, if you throw a rock, especially in Atlanta or here, there's like probably 10
med spas on every corner.
Yeah. But one thing about me though, a lot of them don't do peptides, hormones, stem cells, exosomes. They just do your outer beauty. Yeah. I want your inside to look just as good.
Yeah.
So that's where my
you do. They're usually one or the other. You do both, and you do it at home. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got quite an edge. But again, more well-rounded, more versatile. You know. And
going into that, how are you liking starting peptides and things like that?
I like it. It's different because I've always been so natural and been able to get absolutely diced.
And everybody is not that blessed.
Also, everyone doesn't do the research on macros, you know what I mean? And really learn your nutrition, which is like the battle, you know? And it's not, and what I tell people is you can be on the craziest macro diet and you can get thin and you can be down to straight muscle and lean, but your muscle won't look a certain way. And that comes into the aesthetic, which comes into the training, which I know how to do very well too. I don't just train one way. You know, I mean, I train across the board and all kinds of things. I know how to hit my heart rate. I know how to do my cardio. I know how to lift. I do a lot of, different things. I do, whether it's F45, boxing, kickboxing, and I'm not talking about classes. I'm talking about like real training. I run mountains, with my dogs. I walk on a treadmill at a super high incline for 45 minutes, you know what I mean? At a 3 mile per hour, and that burns fat like crazy. I get on the Stairmaster. I get on the bike when I'm, when I have knee injuries or ankle or whatnot, because it's non-impact. I lift hard when I lift, you know what I mean? And hard where I'm not tearing anything. As I get older, you start to realize like, I can't lift as heavy as I used to, or I shouldn't, because you're just more prone to accidents.
Correct.
So starting the peptides and stuff, you could definitely start seeing it has an edge for sure. It definitely makes things easier as you get older than you did. But you're right, everyone doesn't. I have good genetics where not only do I do everything right and I know how to do it, and I've studied and learned how the macros and the training, but you could still know all this stuff and your body still doesn't snap in. You know what I mean? I'm lucky in that way. Listen, I didn't get to be 6 foot. You know what I mean? I didn't get to be 6'2", but I got to be, have a good body when I train for it.
Exactly.
But the peptides do definitely help for sure.
Yeah, and I gotta tell people all the time, like, especially with it being natural, like you want to look good, you want to feel good, especially like with skin. I tell some of my actor buddies, like, bro, like your skin need to be on point. You can't be a model and your skin look like roadkill. Like, peptides, get your facials, do your lasers, sunblock. Even my black folks, I'm like, y'all, we still have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never.
I'm telling your girlfriend. I'm telling.
She doesn't either.
Really?
I know.
I'm gonna have to get on her
But she's
too.
never in the sun.
Oh, you right.
She never goes in the sun.
But see, you outside a lot though.
I am and I'm not. I am. Yeah, I just don't wear sunblock. I know. I'm gonna pay for it later.
Again, what? Blessed.
Well, the Mexican has my back right now, but that white's gonna kick in and he's gonna get me.
So when you first heard about peptides, what was your initial thought? Knowing you probably had read something.
Say again?
I said, knowing you probably had heard of it anyway. Yeah,
I mean, I think I've known about peptides for years, but I'm just like, nah, I'm good. And I'm not like, I don't need anything. I'm good. I've always been able to do these crazy transformations where I can lose 30, 40 pounds and be absolutely Superman shredded within 2-3 months. But as you go older, it gets a bit harder. I mean, the last time I did it, I was like 35 or 36, and I shed off like 30 pounds and got shredded. But it took me 3 months, and it was tough. It's 2 times a day training. It's fasted cardio. It's like it's a job.
It is.
It's a job. It's tough. People. So it's and as you get older, you want your skin to look better and you to feel better. Like, I don't want to wake up feeling like, oh. And I've had so many injuries that like it. You start feeling it as you get older for sure.
Go ahead and list them so everybody know.
Oh my God. On the lower half, I've torn my ACL twice on this knee, once on this knee, tore the MCL, tore the meniscus on this knee, tore my Achilles, tore my calf, tore my quad.
Y'all, his calves are huge. Go ahead.
broke this ankle in 3 different places. Tore the ligaments of cartilage and dislocated it. I had reconstructive ankle surgery. I've broken both big toes. That's the lower. I've torn my shoulder twice. I broke my collarbone. I broke my fingers. I have pinched nerves, slipped discs. And I've had like 5 concussions.
So y'all, but guess what? This man's still in the gym. He's still physically active.
Yeah.
He's still. Don't you still do like jiu-jitsu or something?
Yeah, kickboxing and boxing.
Yeah. So all y'all out here with an excuse, this man literally has a body full of metal.
Yeah, there's a lot of metal in here. Yeah.
And he still gets it in. So for those of y'all out here with these excuses, that's why I tell you, I'm not trying to hear it. Because if people like this can do it on top of the job that he does, like managing, someone as big as Nicki Minaj, but still finding a way to get some type of workout in, his nutrition, all that, when you only work 9 to 5, if that, and work from home, Miss me at the bullshit. But yeah, so it's good, you know, that, you know, you were able to still manage all that, because that's time management.
Yeah, for sure. But also, you know, again, like as you get older and more crickety and these injuries and really arthritis starts to kick in more and more.
Yeah.
You know, the BBC 157, I've been hearing about it for a long time, and I haven't really jumped into it until I met you. And I started, you know, digging in. You know, PRP, I've done a couple times and I didn't, but we did PRP and STEM, which STEM I've been wanting to do for the longest time. So, you know, doing PRP and STEM. So just those three alone, like, you know, those help. The growth hormone I kind of stayed away from because I know what it does, and I know it, you know, but I just felt like I was young enough. I didn't need it. I don't want to start some, same with like testosterone and stuff. I don't want to start something and then have to be on this for the rest of my life and have to, you know. But as you get older, you're like, it's probably time. I, you know, start dabbling and trickling little things in here and there.
Yeah.
And help yourself, because what's the age where your testosterone starts to go down and it never really, like, you can help it with like food and supplements and things like that, vitamins, but it never really is what you're at 25 years old.
Exactly.
Things like
Because
that.
nowadays too, people don't realize that eating processed food is why it's bringing it down like crazy.
The eating, the sleeping, the not drinking water, the stress, that, you know, and those all are big factors into your test.
Correct.
So, and you know, as again, this goes back to being like the vulnerable man of going, I don't want to talk about my testosterone being low, you know what I mean, or why, but because you feel like less of a man. But it could be from work, it could be from not sleeping well, it can be from eating processed foods, it could be from boom, you know, a million different things. So it's like, I don't know, my test is low. Like, I don't know why.
Exactly.
It could be I work a crazy job that I work 17 hours a day. You know, that could be why.
Exactly.
It could be because I don't sleep not more than 3 hours a day. It could be, you know, so I'm like, yo, Q, we gotta fix this.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I had a patient the other day, probably 33 years old. He's like, man, I'm taking naps at like 12 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I said, damn, you 33?
That's how I feel. I take a nap at 12. I'm like, bro, I'm so tired.
Yeah, and then too, when you can look at someone's physique, you can also tell.
Yeah.
You know, and I just saw him maybe a week ago, and he's like, dude, no more naps, and I actually have the energy to work out.
Yeah.
So people just think it's just being able to get their penis up.
Yeah, but it's not even just test two. It's
yeah.
like the D3, vitamin D3, which, you know, if you're not in the sun and you're not, I mean, that's really, you see it most like where dogs, right? That's where I see, like, my dogs, they wake up in the morning, they go out to the hottest part of where the sun's hitting, and they lay for hours getting that vitamin D. You know what I mean? Because that is instinctual for them. They know how to do it. We don't do that. We don't work like that. We're also so worried about being like sunburned and, you know, sun exposure and things like that. So we don't work the same way. We got to get it in our foods and our vitamins, you know? So when we did our blood test and you're like, bro, your B12, which is your energy, your sleep, your things like that, is way down, and your D3 is way down. I was like, fuck, I gotta get those up. You know what I mean? And that's just so far off from testosterone. Those are other things. That's why it's always good to get a full blood panel.
Oh yeah, and these doctors don't even check that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, check that on everybody. If you want someone to, for one, vitamin D, if you got somebody being sick all the time, I promise you their vitamin D low as hell.
Yeah.
You know, those are the things that you want to be trying, and I see patients all the time. I'm like, can y'all just test this? They only test part of it. Test everything. The insurance, you're going to get your money from the insurance company. Test this. Like, why are you actually, I beg to differ, like, why are some providers are here?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to actually help this person or not? So that's why, for me, I tell patients all the time, like, just pay cash, because insurance is only there for when you're about to die. But preventative stuff keeps you living longer, keeps you feeling longer, and you won't have to go to your primary care doctor who you're not going to talk to anyway. So it's just little things like that. So for you, you know, what do you believe about longevity? Like, is it, of course, what you eat, taking care of your body, but like, what do you think longevity means to you, and how you've been able to be successful for so long and then do 3 different careers?
Man, it's tough. You know, it's like I had a crazy year last year, and it's like a slower year this year. But that could change very quickly, you know? That could change next week. It could be a crazy year next year, or another slow year. Who knows? This industry, like I said, is so fickle and so tough to be in that you do have to be patient and ride the waves when they come and sit patient and chill in the water and not panic when the waves are not coming. You know, and if anybody knows surfing or ocean, I don't surf, but waves come in swells. You know, I mean, they come, and then they stop, and then everyone just sits there, and then they come again. You know, what I mean, and that's the same kind of thing in life. You know, your waves come and you ride the shit out of them, and then when they're not here, you work, you find different avenues, which is why I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do some social media. Okay, cool, I'll do acting. Okay, cool, I'll do creative directing. Okay, cool, I'll go judge a show. Okay, cool, I have nothing. Great, I'll work on my fitness. I'll work on myself. I'll work on my health. You know, I'll get myself in shredded shape. So that way, when I am on some crazy job and I don't have the time to be in the gym 2 times a day or things like that, I'm already at a great body.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I can slack now. You know, I can slack off. So that's why, like, right now is a slower time for me right now, and I've lost 35 pounds. You know,
I can tell.
I was 215 and now I'm 180. So, you know, I've been focusing on my eating, my working out, my internal, my body. So that way, when I do jump on a job, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling great. And you look better and you feel better when you're on the job, you know?
Correct.
You're not carrying all this extra weight around.
Because I tell people, too, like, you don't got to be walking around like a bodybuilder, but at the end of the day, how you look is your business card.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, there's providers out there who are big as hell that do well, but
also, like, if you're a banker, you may not want to be like, I'm not on TV. I don't need to be absolutely dice shredded looking like I'm competing. I get it. But you could still be in shape because it gives you confidence. It gives you self-esteem. It makes you feel good, you know? And I know girls are always like, oh, I love dad bods. Dad bods are great. You can have a dad bod and still be in shape.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because you could be in great shape and not have a six-pack. And mind you, having a six-pack is, I want to say so overrated. I mean, I need a six-pack, but that's because I'm on film and I'm vain as hell because I'm on TV and social and this thing. But, like, I always feel best when I don't have a six-pack because I'm like, I'm sitting in a heavier weight, but I'm muscular. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I feel like I can still eat what I want. And I still look like a machine. I still look like I'm yacked. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? I think, like, you can be in great shape with a dad bod. You know? You don't have to be 160 pounds, like, just feed out, shredded. I think that's like where people are doing too much. You know what I mean? You can do the peptides and do the stuff and get in good shape and feel good about yourself and feel like I'm strong, I'm healthy, I can run a mile, I can bench my weight, you know, and be in a good place.
Exactly.
Because
nobody asks you to do too much, just the bare minimum, so you don't have to go to the ER for a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know? So here we have the first thing that comes to mind is some quick questions. So, best warm-up move before a long rehearsal block?
Man, I'm not even in rehearsals anymore. I don't know. I'm in office.
What would you say to today's society, though? Like, what would you, if someone asked you, what do you think they should do?
Before rehearsal, before, like, working out?
Rehearsal.
I'd say, like some jump ropes, some jumping jacks, get your blood flowing, get your heart rate up. Getting a little glisten is good. I think like a 5 to 10 minutes of, like, I always do either walking on an incline, a treadmill for 10 minutes, or like a Stairmaster for 10 minutes. Those are like my 2 warm-ups, always to get my body moving.
Okay.
Now, if you're in a rehearsal space, you're not gonna have those things, but you know.
Okay. Most underrated recovery tool.
Ooh, most underrated. God, Epsom salt bath is probably the easiest thing
Oh
for
yeah, magnesium bath salts.
anybody
Absolutely.
to do. Cold plunge, sauna,
Oh, yeah.
massage.
I have those at my office. A song that gets you moving no matter what or where you're at.
Probably like, what is it called? It's called, I have it here, hang on.
And I'm gonna need you to send that to me.
It's called Milwaukee, and it's like a house song. It's Milwaukee by Zerb.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then one supplement you actually feel a difference from,
Well,
whether
what?
it's a peptide or a vitamin that you've been taking.
I'd say probably
The BPC, brother. all them
yeah,
answers
I'd
you
probably
got?
say the BBC.
I can
yeah.
answer that one for you.
Yeah, the BBC is a good one for sure.
So in today's society, say if you weren't dancing or doing choreography, or creative directing, what would you have done?
Acting,
Really?
what I'm doing still.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, if I wasn't in the industry at all, firefighting.
Okay. And where did it even come from?
I just want to be a firefighter since I was a little boy.
Okay.
I went in like the Fire Explorer program, which is you train, you do all these like training things, and I did it for years. And it like looks good on your resume when you actually do apply, and after you get your EMT license, then when you apply into firefighting, having 3 years as a Fire Explorer is very strong in your resume.
Okay. So that concludes all our questions. And of course, y'all, you can follow Mr. Beau here on how many platforms do you have?
All of them.
We're going to need a list.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I don't really use, but it's
Yeah.
there.
He's always doing something
Twitter.
great, guys. He's into fitness. He's into health. I mean, he's done a lot of things to be so young. So I hope this podcast will give you guys a kick into what his world looks like, whether you want to be a dancer or choreography or creative directing. He's done it all. Maybe if you have questions, he's busy, but if you ask a question, maybe Instagram or something, he'll get back to you at some point. But at the end of the day, I hope this served as a way to motivate you guys who want one of the 3 roles that he does. And we'll see you next time on the Q Effect. Thanks for listening.